we're called to do that. And it's it's to both men and women. So I think this is really important. It's not like men are given advice that is not on morality. It's not like there's a special morality just for men when it comes to sex and a special morality for women. The sexual morality that we're given, not by me, not by you, by God and natural law, God's natural law, and also you can see it through divine revelation and the tradition of the church, is a morality for both men and women, married and unmarried. And its core is chastity, which is virtue. Men are called to it and women are called to it. And when men aren't living virtue or women aren't living in virtue, both of them can become increasingly haywire. We hurt each other. Then the war of the sexes commences. So speaking against porn is not just about men, it's about men and women.
Yeah, I think that you will lose more people than you help because no men want to be nagged by women about what they should and shouldn't do. And as I've said before, any woman that tells men what to do is a feminist because you are applying that you have authority and you are equal. And I don't think you are. So I would say we are subordinates.
Well, I think men and women are made equal in dignity before God, and they're both made in the image of God.
Do you believe in the natural? Do you believe in the natural order?
If I can ask you a question, would it be okay if I ask you a question?
Do you believe in the natural order of the world?
I absolutely do. Would it be okay if I asked you a question?
So that would be a hierarchy, correct?
It includes order and hierarchy. Yes, I agree with that.
So again, it just goes back to the same question. The war of the sexes, I would say, is women challenging men's authority. And I would argue that you are the same as a blue-haired feminist. Because by nagging and telling men what to do, you are doing the same thing. You are implying that you are equal, which is what feminism fought for. So anyways, I will unmute you, but I do want to show that you are also interrupting me. So
yeah, Pearl, muting your guests is a very disrespectful thing to do.
Okay, and I'm going to do it again. Yeah, again, you can nag these simps. You can't nag me. All right.
I don't know how much she's muting me. So if she's just going to keep muting me, I don't know there's a point of being able to have a discussion.
Okay.
So I don't know how much she's joking about muting me constantly. I don't know. I don't see her muting, so I don't know how much she's doing it. But it might make sense to not to have the conversation if she can't have it in good faith.
Yeah, you can.
It's a really bad faith conversation if she's just going to mute me.
I'm having a good faith. The problem is here's the challenge. Actually,
can you hear me? Am I muted or not?
You get to go on these. You go on these shows and you do over.
Can you hear me?
Monologue, and you're kind of used to doing it. So it's again.
Can you hear me right now?
Signaling.
Pearl, are you listening? Can you hear me? Okay.
I do hear you.
If you continue to mute me, I don't even know when you're muting me or not. I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you. I don't think you're acting in good faith right now. So I'm gonna have to end this stream with you if you're going to continue to mute me. No.
Yeah, you can't stop me. Look, it's either submit to the rules of the show or don't. Okay, well, I'm always waiting for these like feminine women to show me their submission, and they just never can.
So are you going to continue to mute me during our conversation, or is it going to be a good faith conversation?
If you overtalk me, I will mute you. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're going to have to close out then, because I think you need to let your audience decide who's over talking who.
All right. See ya. They can't handle me. They can't handle me. I know this is the thing. They gaslight you to eternity. They overtalk you and then they never shut up. I would never, and this is the thing, I would never go on someone else's show and overtalk them. I would never do it because it's basic respect. Like Christian women pretend, they show you, and I'm so passionate about this topic. They show you exactly why nobody wants to be a Christian and why we don't see Christian women as any better. All she had to do was submit to the rules of the show. That's it. You're coming on my show. You obey my rules. I'm not going to insult you. I'm not going to yell at you. You got to let me finish because this is my show. And these women are very controlling. That's why they like the Bible. It's not because of God. What they like to do is they like to nag girl boss, have leverage, and they cannot give up control. And women like Lila, they have gone their entire adult life. They've gone their entire adult life without anybody telling them they're wrong. Because when you're a pretty girl and you're Bible thumping, who's going to tell you to shut the fuck up? Nobody. Nobody. And I just want you to know, women like her just have a tendency to push more people from Christianity than bring it. I'm not religious because of women like her. If Christian women really supported men, they would have to step down. They can't expect men to step up without them stepping down. Again, Lila can't shut up. And the lack of self-awareness, it's just the lack of self-awareness is crazy with these women. Imagine if I went on Kevin Samuel's show when I went on and I just started over-talking him. I would never do it. I would never do it. I would never. But here's the thing. These women are in their mid-30s. They've never had basic respect, decor, or cadence to men, and they think that they're not rude because they speak in a nice tone. Anybody can have a soft voice and still be a bitch. And I'm not even saying I got nothing against her. But, just because you talk in a nice tone, it doesn't mean you're doing any good. Yeah, I know. I did the same thing Kevin Samuels would have done. And look, I like to be honest here. I am not a conservative Christian woman. I wish I was a better person. I have a lot of ways to go. But it's just women have no idea how unlikable they are. They don't. They go on these shows, they overtalk everybody. And again, because nobody will ever tell them about themselves, they just go on all these shows, make a bunch of money. And then wonder why people are not interested in Christianity. Catholics think sex is not a need, and God forbid, and they forbid priests to get married. This is a demonic teaching. All right, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna play a video that I just think demonstrates this really easily. And by the way, I've been on very adversive panels. Here we go. This is what Lila reminds me of. Oh no. This isn't the clip I was looking for. I wanted the one, if you could find, I don't know where it is. I want the Nick clip where he was talking about the Tucker Carlson thing, but not when he was actually on the show. He had a clip recently in the last few shows. It's okay. Now, Laura says you didn't treat her with any respect. Did I insult her? No, I just said, look, you can't overtalk me on my show. This is my show. I did a lot of work into building it. If I come on your show, I know I'm submitting to your show. Be more specific. I want the Nick clip. He's talking about how women, it's like gatekeep, girl boss. And he was talking about how Tucker's out of touch and how terrible women are. Respect and earned. If she's being rude, then she didn't earn shit. I know. Okay, I guess I'll go over some of my points. Oh yeah, drop a link and I'll come on. I'll go over some of my points that I wanted to talk about. 80% of women gain 20 pounds or more in the first 5 years of marriage. I wanted to talk about how there's should and is, and we could live in a fantasy world or a real life world, and the conservatives tend to live in a fantasy world. I wanted to talk about how absurd it is when she's in a very privileged class of society. So she's in this little bubble, right? Orange County. She gets to talk into a microphone for a living out of the comfort of her own home. I wanted to talk about how it's really out of place for you to say to a man deployed overseas there and nag them about porn. Like, what have you done in your life to think that you have the authority to nag a man about porn? Like, imagine how ridiculous that is. These men, or like the men that are in the sewers, like their hands are deep in shit. And then Lila's like, if you rub one out after work, bad man. And the guys are like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I wanted to talk about how she uses her platform to virtue signal, and how I don't think you're going to win anybody as Christians. I don't think you're going to win anybody to your church by you saying, I'll pray for you. Because essentially on Twitter, she called me, she insinuated I was the devil. Because I said porn has saved more marriages than it's destroyed, because men have these terrible wives and so they got to jack off. And she tweets it and says, your affectionate uncle screw tape or something. I didn't know who that was, so I Googled it. Lila couldn't answer a simple yes or no. I know, the obedient women, the submissive, obedient women. It's like, God help your husbands. Because again, if you guys were what you said you were, I would just see it. I would see it in your actions. You would be submissive, obedient women. And I think that's why people come to me. They're like, Pearl, why aren't you this submissive, obedient? I'm like, look it, I'm not. But I'm a D3 player. I know the D1 players. And see, this is another woman. Lila did great. Pearly's very unprofessional. That's a woman. See, they tone police. They actually can't they come into a man's world, and really podcasting, streaming, that's a man's world. Do you not think people get cussed out at the office when women aren't around? But you come into a men's world and say, do it my way, tone police, shut the fuck up. We hate Karens. We hate Karens. We hate Karens. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just like you're derailing the conversation, because now I have to go back and forth with you about, oh no, do your show this way, do your show this way. Then leave. Nobody can put a gun to your head. Nobody can put a gun to your head and make you be here. Now, anyway, so she insinuates that I am the devil, or I'm possessed by a demon or some BS. And then they always say, I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. So you're using God as a way to signal that you're more moral than me. I get it. I'm going to hell. You're going to heaven. I get the point. That's always the point of all these trad women. I am immoral. You are moral. And then what they do is they try to bring up your faith. And what they're trying to say, what the manipulation is, they are trying to display that they're better at God than me. That's their end game. They want to say, I am better at God than you. Do you have faith? That's translation for, I want to prove that I'm better at God than you.